Hey guys, good afternoon. It is 2 p.m. here in Bangalore, India. Yesterday we spoke about step 1, awakening. And I shared a bit on my personal journey of awakening, which started with a Reiki weekend. At the same time, the entire of humanity has been in the process of awakening. To create a beautiful world starts with the realization, hey, this is not the world I have signed up for. Also, yesterday we spoke a bit on step 2 out of 50 to transform our world. This step was named An Impossible Dream, or not. The good news is that there are millions and millions of wonderful people who have awakened and are all in pursuit of their impossible dream for our world. Today we're going to talk about claiming your power. When I started to get these first thoughts, like I yesterday shared, on I would like to change the world, I felt small. I felt inadequate. I felt not good enough. And as we now don't know, this is all identification with negative thoughts in our minds. And don't underestimate this. This programming is strong. And when you generate the courage and the inspiration to claim your power and take your first steps on your dream, you will get your lessons. In 2003, I had just started 2 years into launching the project. I found myself falsely accused, jailed, and in my cell. I was wondering, what is this? Not with such a happy face as now. So, I want to tell you that every difficult experience you are encountering now or will encounter is a gift. When something difficult happens, first thing you can do is fall on your knees and say, thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Because this difficult experience will give you the learning and the strength you need to succeed. After a couple of days being jailed, I started to work on accepting where I am. Because power in life comes when we accept without conditions. And we know by now that this is what true love is all about. So power and love, these words are very similar. In this world, we mostly know ego power. This I would call violence. So I was in jail, claiming my power, accepting what is. And I'll share 2 aspects. The first one was, as I started gaining a little bit of power, I started interacting with fellow prisoners. And one story I will never forget. I was speaking to a young man, asking how he ended up in jail. And he shared with me, I was running out of money and I was getting hungry. So I was starting to steal so I could eat. Now, I don't know how this is for you when you hear this. But I'm thinking, what is this? What kind of world do we have that someone who is hungry steals for food, that we punish this person? And this is not just one person. Some statistics were showing me that 2 billion people sometimes go to bed hungry. Well, that is not the world I have signed up for, and I will not be able to live with myself if I don't spend every day doing something about this. I think this is an outrage, it is a disgrace. And getting this learning in prison, it strengthened my willpower. And as I was moved to a different facility where I had a little bit more access to, I could do some more stuff, I started writing a vision. It was June 2003, and I started to create the vision for a sustainable world. And I had moments in my writing where I was moved to tears because I was seeing and experiencing this vision. I was completely inspired being in jail. So there are a few things to learn here. You have the power. Circumstances do not define who you are. You do. You can disidentify from negative thought, and you can let your circumstances influence you, or you choose who you're going to be in the face of the circumstances in your life. All I can say that this experience was needed to come to a place where we are now, 20 years after the start. That's a little bit on step 3, claiming your power. Where the point I would like to make is, it's an inner process. Disidentify from thoughts and tap into that higher state of consciousness. And you can transcend, you can overcome any difficulty. I have great faith in you. Step 4, let's talk on step 4, the very first glimpse of the vision. This was the year 2000, and the very first glimpse came when I was having a webcam meeting with a friend in Sweden. At that time, my thoughts on changing the world revolved around, if people feel related, there is workability. And this was actually a good start, though at that time I did not know anything about consciousness. These are just different words where we see that when we shift to a higher state of consciousness, call it love, call it who we truly are, that is our key access to a sustainable world. It is a inner shift, it is a inner transition. And I was visualizing, what if large groups of people would unite at different locations in the world, and then we would connect them using technology. So on big screens, we can be with each other. To do what? Not to do. To be. To engage in any program, activity, something we love to do. It doesn't matter what, guys, there is no right way. It can be meditation, It can be we're singing together, we're dancing together, we're in a dialogue, we're in nature, we're doing something we love while being together and being in a committed, transformative conversation. It all started with one webcam meeting in the year 2000. Now, last, let me share one very funny detail. When I started the project, feel free to laugh at me. I created the project as a 15-year project. In the year 2000, I said, well, by 2015, we will be done. Observe the arrogance of the ego. As 2015 was approaching, I realized, I might have been a little fast. And then I shot into the other side of the ego. That's the part where we feel small and powerless. So, wow, this is very difficult. This is going to take 150 years. So from the year 2000 till the year 2150, the program, the project will unfold. Then, again, a few years later, I realized that the balance is somewhere in between, and we created the Sustainable World Project as a 50-year project from the year 2000 till the year 2050. Let me say something about all the dates and the timelines you see in our work. It's not important. You gotta pick something so you can talk about it. But understand that dates can be different. Our timeline can be different. Maybe we transform the world by 2030 or 2040. Great! Maybe it takes a decade more. This is not what is important. What is important is that we unite and we make a start with the first steps. Same, I want to say to you, you are so important and the world is waiting for your unique gift, and I want you to know that nobody else can bring what you are here to bring. So claim your power. Whatever your dream is, step up and start. Sometimes the later steps only become clear after we've gone through the initial steps. I'm looking forward to work with you on making this a world that works for all people. I love you. See you soon. Bye bye.